everyone. Today I have the privilege of speaking with Mohamed Yahya, the UN resident and humanitarian coordinator in Pakistan. It's always a privilege to speak with you and to interview with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for Dawn covering this important UN 80 celebration here in Lahore.
Thank you. So the UN was founded on the promise of never again, yet the world has witnessed repeated cycles of war, famine, and massive displacements as well. 80 years later, what would you say the UN still stands for in a world that often sees it as paralyzed by politics?
No, so the UN is a moral compass. 80 years ago, the world came together at the rubble of the Second World War and committed to basic values that we share globally, and committed to make sure that we don't have another third world war this time, or no global war. Obviously, things haven't been perfect. Recently, you've seen the conflict in Gaza, in Ukraine, in other parts in Sudan. But overall, the UN is there. Whenever there's a conflict, we are the first responders. The UN supposedly provides humanitarian aid to millions of people globally. The UN is here in Pakistan supporting Pakistan's development ambition. And the presence of the UN is a commitment that the world has made for solidarity. So to go where nobody goes, to stand up with the most vulnerable, and to help them in recovering from conflict, from climate, but also meeting their own development ambitions. So as a moral compass, as something that we share globally, the things that unite us is what the UN all stands for.
So thank you for this. 80 or 100 years later, the UN will always represent peace, no matter how fractured and no matter where the world is heading. Yeah.
Yes. So the UN stands for the things that unite us, our common humanity. And the UN, and I always say this, and Pakistan has played an incredible role in building the UN we have today. Of course, we've had terrible experience recently, specifically for people of Sudan, for people of Gaza, for people of Ukraine. But I think what the UN stands for is being part of the solution in helping people who are in need, and also working with member states to find solutions to the problems that we have. But the biggest achievement is we haven't had another world war, and millions of people today benefit both from humanitarian aid, vaccines, but also development support, because the UN exists. And the UN is us. The UN is not an entity separate from us. It's the only platform that brings the entire world together to focus on our common challenges.
Absolutely, it's made of everyone, it's made of the entire world. You're completely true on that. In Pakistan and the wider region, the UN has been deeply involved in humanitarian aid, refugee support, and of course, climate response as well. But beyond crisis management, what role do you see for the UN in strengthening governance, peace building, and South equity in South Asia?
A lot. The Sustainable Development Goals is all about your development ambition. Pakistan signed up to it. It gives you clear goals of where Pakistan wants to go. Pakistan wants to defeat poverty. Pakistan wants to deal with the climate change. Pakistan is committed to women's equality. All those need support, and the UN provides technical support, provides financing, and works with the Pakistani government. And it's important for your viewers to know, in Pakistan, 90% of the face of the UN are Pakistanis. So this is also part of Pakistanis helping Pakistan through the UN.
That's amazing, and I think at the end of the day, it's about communities. Everyone has to act together as a community for a change to actually come by. So just to wrap this up, I want to ask you this question that, young people like me, we're seeing that conflicts are often multiplying in today's world, and the trust in global institutions is sort of decreasing a bit. So what would you say to young people like me and to all the youngsters out there who, often view the UN as a symbolic institution?
So the future of what the UN will look like is what young people decided to be. It's an 80-year institution. Its values has not aged. Its values is very clear. I don't think anybody disagrees that we have one planet. We have to keep it healthy. We are committed to make sure that nobody is left behind. We are committed that we need to solve our future challenges, especially climate change. And I know young people like yourselves and many others are committed because the biggest threat we face in the future, especially for Pakistan, is climate change. And the UN provides you that platform because the world has, the rich countries have polluted the world. The developing countries like Pakistan are facing the consequences of that. And the solution is what you guys, young people, do in the future. So I want to encourage all young Pakistanis to commit to multilateralism, coexistence, tolerance, and that's what the UN stands for. And today, you see the music here, the stalls, and a lot of young Pakistanis have turned up. It makes me hopeful. It makes me hopeful that Pakistanis here in Lahore, in Islamabad, in Quetta, in Peshawar, in Karachi are committed multilateralists. They know that for Pakistan to prosper, the world has to prosper. And this is why I'm very excited about the future of young Pakistanis and their contribution to a better world.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hope is what we have, and we cannot lose hope. Thank you so much for your time, and it's always a privilege to interview you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And those who are watching this, it's probably too late for them. A lot of interesting stuff happening in Lahore. We have 22 UN agencies showcasing their work, and we want you to come, to listen, to engage, and give us ideas of how the UN can support Pakistan's ambitions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.